Hello there, my name is Bruce Rain from Brankers Creations, and I hope I'm streaming. I honestly don't even know at the moment, so let me just press on a thing here and see if I see my face. And it says, here we go. Okay, yep, I am streaming. So isn't that good? Now, I do need to sort out the audio here very quickly, so if you will just bear with me a moment. So basically my little mixing desk that I normally run my microphone through is just totally non-responsive at the moment. I'm just not getting any sound through it at all. So I have plugged in the Rode straight into the computer, which usually means it's quite a bit quieter. So let me just see if I can apply some gain to this somewhat. And we will just go add gain and then call it gain. And then we will just go here and go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. How's that sound? Oh, geez, that's got to have clipping, that is. So let's go that much. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's just see how that goes. We'll go with that for the moment. If it's a little bit too quiet, you let me know. Or if it's a little clipping or sounding like poo, let me know, but hopefully it's all coming through. Got much louder, sounds good. All right, so let's just go with that for the moment. I'm still missing some cameras. Let me just go here, top view. Okay, that's there. Now we go. Yeah, so the way it works with this software is every view that you create, you need to add all of the different devices. And so in my instance where I am needing to add my microphone, I have to go through and add them manually. So I'm just going to go here to... This is a real pain in the neck. So let's see if we can get at least the microscope camera working. Scope. Such a pain, such a pain, such a pain. Oh, I've got Rode here twice. I've done it twice, so let's just get rid of that then. Remove. Remove. There we go. So, yep, I've got sound coming here. Now let's just see why we're not getting the scope camera. Okay, that's, oh, hang on, this is looking like that's promising. Hey, we got the scope camera back. All right, so at this stage, we're basically just down one camera. And I'll see if I can resolve that, but we'll see. Okay, first of all, let me just go into the here, and I'm just going to go in here, and I'm going to say hello to everyone. Thank you for joining. I am going to very quickly go and say hello to people. Jack68K, thank you, and thank you for being the absolute first person to jump into the chat today. You said that yay soldering like minutes after I created the live stream, so well done to you. Eric's Edge, hello there. Enzo Fitzhume, K-Mac Vintage, Rudy's Retro Intel, Enzo Fitzhume, I already done Enzo. I've got Retro Techie, I've got Obsidian Xenon, I have got, did I say? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I already said Rudy, but anyhow, I'll say it again, Rudy, and then there's me making excuses. And then I think we're pretty... Oh, Roger Salter, hello there. And... Carthor. I'm having to go back a long way here. If I missed anyone, I do apologise. Okay, there we go. All right. Curtis Washington, hello there. Okay, so... let me just recap on the situation. So I recently got from Creality, the 3D printer company, they sent me a 3D scanner. It's a thing called the CR Scan Ferret Pro. And yeah, so it's a 3D scanner, and they sent it to me to try it and do a video on, which I have been doing. But it does, in order to get the best results from it, it requires a fair bit of CPU grunt. And I've got some reasonably fast laptops up there, but not really fast enough for the 3D scanner. And so what I did is I grabbed my little M1 Mac from here, unplugged it all, took it up there, been doing 3D scanning for the last week. And that's all been great. And then today I was doing the live stream, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm going to have to get down there. And then about 15 minutes before I headed down here, I thought, holy crap, I don't even have the computer plugged in down there. So I quickly grabbed it, came down here, plugged it in, started plugging everything in, and nothing worked. Absolutely nothing worked. I had this camera. That was it. All I had was, oh, and the chickens. The chickens were working as well. But I literally had this camera and this camera only. This one didn't work. This one didn't work. This one didn't work. The audio didn't work. Nothing worked. So I was then just furiously trying to get everything working and sort of gradually just adding one camera at a time. Now, I still have no idea why this side camera is not working. This is a pretty crappy cable, but I still would have expected this to actually function. It is plugged in here. So I did try turning it off and on again. I restarted the computer, and I've unplugged and replugged in this here. And it is just this side camera here, which I do like to use for my soldering. Let's just try. I'm just going to do this. Just a second. My audio might disappear for a sec. Okay, I think I've added the audio to every view now. Let me just check. Testing. 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 Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good now. So let me just adjust the view of this. Actually, no, I won't adjust the view yet because I haven't started doing anything. I should probably just start doing something first. As mentioned, I got this 3D scanner. I've been doing all sorts of fun things with it, so I'm going to be doing a video on that, showing what you can and can't do with a 3D scanner. Sadmac356, hello there. Francois, hello there. Who else have we got? Okay, so let me have a look here. Silent film, yes. All right, so I'm pretty sure I've now got the audio appearing in every single one of my views, so we should be fine from now on. If the audio levels are okay, that's great. If you tell me you need me to turn it up a bit or turn it down a bit, you just let me know. Yeah, so for whatever reason, the mixing desk's just, without me changing anything on the mixing desk other than switching it off and on again, it's just not spitting out any audio. So we've reverted to doing it the old-fashioned way. But anyhow, here we go. So, there we go. I feel like we're sort of, what is that? That is now 11:30, so that is 20 minutes in, and I feel like we've just started. And I am going to switch on the air conditioner because I'm starting to get damn hot. It is very, very humid in this part of the world at the moment. Now, so mentioned 3D scanner, video coming about that soon, so that should be fun. What else? I still am working on the video on reviewing this Kaiwitz soldering iron. That is coming. What else? I am doing a video on a couple of projects that I've been working on. One of the projects I've been working on is 3D modeling. Is anyone familiar with the term trapezoid mouse? That's like as in the very first mouse that Apple released with like their SE30, Mac 2 series, all that. They were all the same shape mouse. They're very angular. They kind of looked a little bit like a Tesla truck. And they had a single button. And what I have been doing is I've been recreating that mouse shape, but built it so that you can put the guts of a modern mouse into it, so that you end up with a 2-button mouse and a scroll wheel, and cordless, of course, but in that form factor of the mouse. I'd have to make it slightly thicker so that I could get the scroll wheel in there. But yes, for those who actually like that form factor, the idea is that I'm theoretically going to release this model, make it available for people to print themselves, and then all they have to do is buy a particular Logitech mouse, open that up, take the guts out of it, put it into this, drop a battery in there, and then you've got a cordless trapezoid mouse with 2 buttons and a scroll wheel. So, Thomas, hello there. Enjoy the movie. What movie are you seeing? Micro Hobbyist, hello there. Max Button, hello there. Shady Robert, hello there. Martin Mack, hello there. Welcome to Markintosh. So I do actually have a prototype, but I didn't bring it down with me. I have a prototype of the mouse. There are very small tolerances for certain things if you don't get the size perfectly right. So, for instance, I had it working beautifully. Then I put a different, I put the guts in it from another mouse, same model of mouse, but guts from a different mouse. I put those in, and now the scroll wheel's too wobbly. It's just a bit of a headache. So anyhow, I'm still figuring it out. Sleepy Malibu, hello there. So that's one of the projects I'm working on. I have also built my little mini Quadra 700 with a Raspberry Pi inside. So I posted some photos of that on my my Breakers Facebook page, and I put those into Low End Mac as well on Facebook. And essentially what I did is I recreated the Quadra 700 case, shrunk it down to 1/3 the size, then put the holes in the back for the Raspberry Pi. It's a Raspberry Pi version 4, and a little hole for the cables, which I made square, and now I realize I should have made circular. What else? And yeah, there's also a spot in there for putting speakers and a little amplifier and a fan. So I've basically got this mini Quadra 700 now, which has stereo speakers. So if you're playing games, there's actually sound that comes out of it and all that. Better than the original sound of the TWEEZERS, that's for sure. Patrick Pitts, hello there. And so there, and then I've set it all up, of course, to emulate a System 7.5 Mac. So I'll be doing a video on that entire process. So that'll be including the modeling side of it, the 3D printing side of it, the programming of the Raspberry Pi, getting the Mac set up on it, putting the ROMs in, all that. So it will be an entire process. And from that process, if people want to watch it, they can just take out whichever bits they need. If they just want to see the stuff about the 3D modeling, they can look at that. If they just want to see the stuff about programming the Raspberry Pi, they can look at that. If they just want to see the stuff about 3D printing, they can look at that. So that's what I'm planning. That's a video that will be coming out soon. So something to look forward to. I'm going to try and get as much video production as I can done during this quieter period for me. Having said that, it hasn't been quiet yet. I mean, I've actually been getting phone calls today because I do work for hospitality, and of course this is their busiest time of the year. So all the IT people and stuff all go on holidays, but then all the problems start occurring. So, anyhow, next 3D print a Molar Mac. Look, if I could get hold of a Molar Mac, I would 3D scan it and then make a model of it. When I'm modeling these sorts of things, I like to do them parametrically, so that's where you do them all with mathematics and measuring and all that sort of stuff, making them all accurate. But if you can 3D scan something to start off with and use it as a template in the background and then build things around it, it actually makes that job much, much easier. So you kind of start with a 3D model which would probably stand up to scrutiny at a relatively small size, but then you do all of the proper mathematical stuff and the modeling over top of that and just use it as a template. Works quite well. I know someone who just got a Molar Mac. Molar Mac is something that virtually never turns up here. I mean, I know people that do have them and they've had to ship them out here. I think I even know someone who brought one out here. They bought a seat for it on a plane. But they were never sold here. They were never actually officially released in this country. So, yeah, the only ones that are out here are ones that have been imported. And of course, if you try and transport one these days, you're likely to just end up with a pile of broken plastic at the other end. What else? Curves are way harder to model. Yep, I agree. So, it's I mean, one of the things that I found this 3D scanner works really well with, organic shapes like I scanned a pineapple, I scanned a pumpkin. The results just come out beautifully because you just get that lovely. I scanned an oven mitt. It looks amazing because it's cloth and it's got all those indentations. It just looks incredible. Stupidest thing to scan, but I scanned it anyway. Got a thing. Now that, I would like to get a filament that colour. That colour. Now, another thing, very quickly. This here is a BlueSCSI. For those who are not aware of them, these are devices that allow you to emulate a SCSI drive in your vintage Macintosh. So you've got your SCSI port there, you've got somewhere for an SD card here. You can either put in a large SD card reader or a micro one here. I opt for the micro because I generally only buy micro SD cards, except for my professional cameras. I buy full-size SD cards for that. And then we've got our little Raspberry Pi here, and for those with a keen eye will see that this is the Wi-Fi version of the Raspberry Pi because it's got this little metal bit here. And of course that then allows this to emulate a Dana, D-A-Y-N-A, SCSI Ethernet. And so you can then use this as wireless Ethernet, which is quite nifty. It's slow as all shit, but it is functional. So what you can effectively do is you can take a vintage Mac like I don't know, Mac SE or something, and turn it into a wireless Mac, which is just pretty freaking cool, I think. The difference between this one and one that you may have bought yourself or even assembled yourself is that I built the whole thing with the air surface mount. So I basically just bought blank boards, soldered on all the surface mount components and the Raspberry Pi, of course. And you may see I didn't even use header pins for this. I soldered that directly onto the board like that. And so this is the second one that I've built, even though this says one on it. It is the first one I built, but I have built two of them, and they both work and they're fantastic, and I really like these. I mean, I like Zulu SCSI as well, but I really enjoyed building this because it was full surface mount soldering stuff. Yeah. Hello, Charlie. Is Sibit? Apologies if I say that wrong. Steve is here. Hello there, Steve. Welcome. All right. Let's begin soldering. Now, I think this is actually going to be a really quick one to solder. So, we might. This is, lucky thing that it started late because it'll appear like I've actually been running for longer. Where are we? Let's go to the top view. Let's check and make sure that we have sound when I go to the top view. Do we have sound? Yes, we do. Yay! All right. So this is my little box that I got from the Amazons. There are links in the description as to where you can buy these if you do want to buy one. And we're going to open it up. I am in Western Pennsylvania here in America, and it's 8 p.m. I know someone else from Pennsylvania. That's Mike from Mike's Mess, I believe. He is from Pennsylvania. I could be wrong about that. So hello to you. It is here at the moment. We are in Sydney, and it is just gone midday, and it is. There's a bit of cloud in the sky, but it's still the sun is still beaming in. This little icon here would have you believe that it's all gloomy, but it's not. It's actually quite sunny outside, and 24 degrees, mind you. It is 25 here where I am. So we've got a little instruction manual here, retro game soldering kit user manual. We've got a few little tips and pointers about soldering. We won't be worrying about that because I solder the way I like to solder. I will not be told. USB socket. Do we get to stick a USB socket on? I love sticking USB sockets on. Yes, we do. That's actually like surface mount soldering. Oh, no, it's not. It's a freaking through-hole one. Never mind. 3 pins in the middle do not need to be soldered because the USB cable is only used for power supply. Then we've got a couple of little matrices that we need to solder on here, which is the display for this device. Bruce rocks. Well, thank you very much for that. And then we've got a little digital tube, they call it, but this is here. It's going to be showing us our scoring for the games. And then we have a shit ton of buttons. Oh, and we've got a little buzzer as well, a little piezo buzzer, or is it to be pronounced piezo? I don't know, but anyhow, there it is. And power switch, and we've got a little battery pack here, which is nice. Oh, I didn't bring any batteries down with me. I'm going to have to go up and get batteries for us to try it. I suppose I can always fire up the power supply, can't I? And then, of course, we've got a cute little acrylic case for it. And then finished. That's what it should look like when we're finished. And it should work. Should work first time, but you never know. Here are some other little kits that these people make. We've got a cute kitten alarm clock. We've got a 3D light cube. It looks like it's about a 4x4 matrix. 4x4x4. Star-shaped LED kit. Don't know what that does. I suppose it's Christmassy, isn't it? LED crystal ball kit. Ooh. And a piano music LED kit. Now, I have actually got a piano, in inverted commas, kit coming, but it's more elaborate than this one. This one looks like it only has white keys. The one that I've actually got coming has black keys as well. So, yeah. So we can get all of our sharps and flats as well. Micro USB is the devil connector. Yeah. Hello there, Jay. I don't know what time you think this is, but I'm glad you weren't here at the beginning because I had all sorts of technical issues, and you just would have given me grief about it. Quite sure of that. So here are all our plastic bits. I'm going to put these back in the box so I don't lose them because I'm very good at losing things. Plastic. They all have protectors on them. It will come off. It'll be nice and clear inside. And then here are our bits. Now, there are so few components to solder for this. I mean, apart from the buttons and stuff like that. So what do we have here? We've got a little, what do you call those things? Integrated circuit. That's a word. It's 2 words, actually. And that's pretty much it. We've got an integrated circuit, a capacitor, and then the rest are just, like, other bits. Like there's no resistors. Nothing. I should just take this off and put it on again. Yeah. Oh, did you get ads? Sorry. I just, I actually think the ads are getting a little bit more intrusive. I could be wrong. But when I start a live stream, I choose the option that they just have as default. So, look at all these wonderful things. All right, what does it say we should stick on first? It says do the USB socket first, so let's do that. Now, thankfully, or not thankfully, if you're me, it's a USB-C too. Look at that, high tech. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, it's the worst kind of USB. It's a friggin' mini USB. It's not even a micro. I don't even know if I've got friggin' plugs for these anymore. What a douche. Anyhow, it's only used for the power supply, so we won't be using that anyway. I'll be using my power supply over there. But we can put this there. I'm going to need my goggles, my special glasses. Let's just check the side view here, because I think we might be better off using the side view for this bit, but I might have to adjust. Oh, look at that. That's close up, isn't it? Just bear with me a second. Old man noises, old man noises. Zoom out a little bit. And that's about where I'm looking, isn't it? Yeah. This is just so that you don't have to look at my fat head. Because typically what happens is when I have the top-down view, I start working, and then I get my head in the way, my big fat head. Here's my glasses. Here's my special goggles. There we go. So, we've got our little micro USB, a mini USB, sorry, not micro. Worth it, even though they suck. Yes. It's funny, I actually watched a lot of the ads on YouTube. Well, no, not a lot. I watched some of the ads on YouTube. I'm mainly interested to see who's advertising. You know, I mean, it's sort of, not everyone advertises on the streaming service, either, you know, things like YouTube and stuff like that. I'm just curious to see what sort of advertisers are spending the money, you know. All right, so we're going to solder this, and I actually think we might be better off starting off this way around, even though it's probably not what they would recommend, just because then I know I've got it in position with the weight of the, what do you call this thing? The little connector pushing down. There we go. There's one pin. We'll do the one on the opposite corner. There's another one. Oh god, there goes my phone. Who would be ringing me? Okay. So now I'm doing the other two. That one. That one. These ones here. Oh god, look how crooked it is. Far out, man. Don't tell anyone, okay? I have put this connector on so freaking crooked. So we only need to do 2 pins, positive and negative. Here we go. And we are done. So that's the connector on there, but it is just mega, mega crooked. But I'm not going to show it to you straight on because then it'll show. Jeremy, hello there. To talk to you about pre-press one day. I'm always happy to talk about pre-press. That was my bread and butter for about 15 years. And I got to be honest, even though I don't do that anymore, I picked up some very, very valuable skills during that. Learned a lot about, you know, computer graphics and things, and you know, a lot of theoretical stuff, which really has helped. You know, I mean, I did a recently created a game on a web page. It's just like a basic game. It's a pick a box game. It's almost like a little game of chance. And someone was looking at it and they said, "Oh yeah, you know, who'd you get to do that?" And I said, "I did it." And I said, "Oh yeah, no, I mean like all the graphics and stuff." And I said, "Yeah, I did." And they're like, "Oh, you must have some graphics experience." And I'm like, "Yes, I do." Okay, I've straightened it up. Everything's fine. My PCBWay order is being shipped. Can't wait to see what I screwed up. Okay, you're prototyping something, are you, Francois? Please do feel free to share whatever it is that you are working on. I just, when I do get boards done from PCBWay, I just, they're other people's inventions, they're not mine, so I don't have to worry about it. Mind you, I had one time where I got sent the Gerbers for the BlueSCSI version 1 by Eric Helgeson, and I went and got 10 boards made up, and when they arrived here, I found out that he had actually ended up with a like bad Gerbers that had no ground plane on them. So I basically had I've still got them. I've got all these PCBs for BlueSCSI version 1 with no ground. I did actually end up making one manually, by using wires, putting ground in, but I just did one. That was just for fun. I had no intention of doing it for any more, nor did I have any intention of selling it. You know something? We got ROM PCBs in the way, also amazing new ROM boards. Cool. So I assume if it's 8 megabyte ROM, you can load a disk image on there and crap like that, so you can boot from the ROM. If I'm assuming that, like, I mean, you can boot from the ROM with, you know, one of these guys. This is the big mess of wires, Rominator 2. You can boot from those, but there's not much storage space on those. It also works on Quadra, LC, and Performance. Ooh. A lot of those computers don't even have ROM slots on them, do they? So you'd have to put a ROM slot in, because they have the holes for them, but they generally don't have the slot in there. Correct me if I'm wrong, which I am regularly. All right, so the orientation of these little matrices is quite important by the looks of things. So it's saying this little code that we see on the bottom here, 1088BS. 1088BS. Yep. Okay. It's saying the code needs to be pointing downwards. So that one there. Now there is a bit of play in these holes, and I think I would like to try and get these as straight as possible. So, well, I'm going to sort of hold them in position while I do a couple of soldering of pins. This is a little trick that I do sometimes when I need a third hand. I hold the solder near the pin like that, and then I just get the iron and I do this, and what it means is it melts onto the pin, and it uses the flux as well, so I don't need to have like one hand holding, you know, you see, if I just melted this onto the iron, I would never get the solder back onto the pin, because the flux just won't let it. So, or the lack of flux won't let it. The flux is already burned. So I just do this, where I just hold the solder there and just go, and then we're done there. And then I'll just do the same on this side. Doesn't matter which one I do. Just got to be one on each side. There we go. So now they're held in position, like that, and they look, they're close enough for me. Close enough for rock and roll. Work on the 2 SC30 units, and the others has auto switching ability to route correctly. Matrices from the mattresses. Okay. Here we go. The socket. So we will sell them together. Oh, so you sell the sockets. That's cool. Excellent. Good idea. They're the same socket as is used for some of the RAM, isn't it? There's one of the computers uses RAM that uses the same size socket as the ROM socket, I think. Right, so I'm just going to solder these. These are all through holes, so nice and easy. Anyone who is kind of new to soldering and is not sure about the whole through-hole soldering, my suggestion always is to put the iron on the pad and the pin, make sure you get both hot, and then push the solder into there. And then it will just melt onto those. Don't hold it there for too long, because especially something like this, which is plastic. If you get these pins too hot, you might melt the other end. So we try and keep it fairly quick. But we are just heating up the pin and the pad, and then melting the solder onto those. And then that way you'll get a perfect solder every time. Boop, 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 boop. I've got a little bit of smoke blowing up into my face here, which tells me I haven't turned on my fume extractor. I normally have Jay to sort that out. He normally says, "Hey, where's your fume extractor, Bruce?" And then I go, "Oh shit, I forgot to turn it on again." Yes, it is just for power delivery, the USB socket. You have two options when it comes to powering this. You can power it from USB, or you can power it from a little battery pack. I will probably be powering it using the pins for the battery pack. So, because it does have a little case that comes with it, and I believe the case has a spot for the battery pack. My last video was, I think, working on a TWEEZERS, but my last kit building one was the one where I did the little component tester. That component tester is working beautifully, I should add. So I now have 2 of them, and I may even end up with 3, because Amazon keeps telling me that the package is on its way, but it's been delayed, even though it's here. I've tried to tell them it's here, but Amazon don't actually have an easy way of communicating information like that. So, yeah, you can take it off your being delivered list, because I've got it. Soccer. Can you program the microcontroller with USB? Certainly not with this configuration, because there are no pins. No data pins wired up on this. They don't go anywhere. So, now, look, this is probably just, I don't know, it's probably just a chip from like an Arduino or something like that that's just been programmed for this. If anyone is playing along at home, the chip says STC, then 8H3K32S2, and then smaller letters under that, or numbers under that, 451, I think, dash LQFP48. I believe that is what it is. So we have soldered on the matrices. Love that word. Love that word. Now it's telling us, it's saying to tear off the protective film, but I shan't do that just yet. Now we've got this guy here. It's easy to know which way around this goes, because it's got 5 pins on one side and 6 on the other. So there's really only one way you can put this on. So I'm going to pop that in there. And then we'll do the same thing. I'm going to hold this in place while I just melt a couple of pins. Jared Berber, hello there. Yes, season's greetings to all. If at any stage I say Merry Christmas and it is not something that you actually celebrate for religious reasons, please take it in the intention, in the way it was intended, as a friendly greeting. I am not really a follower of any particular denomination, but I still sort of tend to say Merry Christmas, and I do say it in a positive way, and I'm not trying to offend anyone. But of course I can say season's greetings, and then we're very PC. Ultra high speed 8051 core with single clock per machine cycle. There we go. Okay, right. Now, it's told us to do that. Oh, and now it's telling us capacitance. So it's not actually saying capacitor, it's saying capacitance. So, yeah, it's nice that it has a little colour manual, isn't it? Don't you reckon? So I've soldered on that, and then we're going to solder on our capacitor, keeping in mind that this is an electrolytic capacitor and it is a polar capacitor, so it has a little minus pointing to the minus pin. So the long pin is the positive, and the short pin with the stripe is the negative pin. And so we then need to put this on here. This screen print has both positive and negative indicated on the board, but often boards usually only have one or the other. They might have a circle around the negative, I think sometimes. Is it a circle or is it a square? I don't know. Something around the negative. Or that usually they just put a plus on the positive side. Again, these are the sorts of things that the old techie people like to do. They like to stuff us up by putting a mark on one side of the component and then having the mark on the other side on the screen print. That's just how they do things. Okay, I'll just do one pin and then I will push from underneath. I'm holding holding that there, and I'm pushing up while I melt this just to make sure that it's perfectly flat. So, yep, I felt it move just a tiny bit when I melted that solder, so now I know it's perfectly flush with the board. And then we're going to solder the other side. And remove these XXS pins. I definitely feel like Christmas, the 25th of December, has really snuck up on me this year. It's Saturday here and it's on Monday, so it's basically 2 days away, and I kind of feel like, holy crap, that happened so fast. Oh wow, this one, oh. Okay, so there's a spot here for an even bigger capacitor. However, oh no, that's the buzzer. Sorry, forget me. All right, let's get some buttons. Boutons. Poussez les boutons. Or even appuyez les boutons. There's my fancy French. I think I said press the button or push the button, something like that. Christmas songs and speakers in the street here for more than 3 weeks. Let me tell you, the Christmas spirit kind of gets me sick. Yeah, well, I haven't had anything like that. So I do actually try and get into a bit of a Christmas spirit during this time of year. I've got some Christmas specials that I have, like on my Plex, that I fire up and I play them, you know, like when I'm going to bed or if I've got a bit of spare time. So some of my favourite TV Christmas specials, well, there's the first series of Family Guy had a Christmas special, and then that one where Lois goes berserk when things start going wrong. There is the South Park one with Mr. Hanky, where they have all there's the original Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo, but then there was the one with the Christmas special where they all sang Christmas carols. I love that one where they're all singing Christmas carols. That one just has me in stitches. And then there is a British comedy series that I really like that was on, I think, in the 90s, possibly the 2000s, called, it's got to be the 90s, called Bottom, Bottom, with Adrian Edmondson and Rick Mail. Rick Mail, unfortunately, has sadly passed away. And they had a Christmas special, and that Christmas special gets me in stitches as well. So I have these Christmas specials that I just bring up, you know, in order to try and force me into a Christmassy feel. Now, these buttons can only go on one way, and that is like this, with the pins at the top and the bottom. They are the same, either up or down. There is no orientation to them in that regard. So we've just got to get these in place. Going to do my old trick here of holding it in while I solder a couple of pins. Can I tell you, in this part of the world, when Santa's all dressed up in a great big red jacket, we all laugh a bit, because it is so hot here at the moment. We've just finished the last heat wave, and that was about 20 days, 19, 20 days of just constant hot day after hot day after hot day. I apologise for people who are in Fahrenheitses, but we most days were over 30 degrees Celsius, and the hottest day we had was, I think, 43 degrees Celsius, something like that. Might have been 42, but anyhow, hot. And so it is one of the funny things when you look at kind of Christmas stuff, which typically involves snow or being cold, that sort of stuff. It does make us laugh here in Sydney a bit, because the Christmases we always have are typically stinking fucking hot. I mean, as in too hot to even go outside a lot of the time. So we have our Christmases indoors. We usually have, it's a very, very, sort of common thing here at Christmas time to have seafood. So people head to the fish markets and they come back with loads and loads of prawns, or as you guys say, shrimp, and different fish, and lobster, and you name it. So it's all generally about seafood feasts for Christmas, and it's generally cold. A lot of the time we will have cold. We might have barbecue, but it is fairly common for us to have cold lunches, cold meats, that sort of thing for Christmas. Or as a Samoan would say, karesimasi. I hate Sonoma. Oh, that's terrible. I've got no real issue with Sonoma. Still live. Yes, I'm still live. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Of course it is. Whoever suggested it isn't? They're wrong. Wrong. Yeah. 43 because 109. Yeah. So that's pretty hot, I'm guessing. And it's very mild today. As I say, it's up around about... Today's top is about 28 degrees C. Tomorrow, it's going to be about the same. I think Christmas Day is going to be over 30. And then the end of next week, it's back up into the stinking hot again. Hot. So, once again, just holding the solder here. This is kind of... I mean, look, what a lot of people do, but I'm not a lot of people, is they put these components in and then they bend the pins. They bend the pins to hold them in position. I am someone who have had to do quite a lot of soldering rework. So essentially what that means is something that has been soldered needs to be unsoldered. And bent pins are awful for rework. They really are. So whenever I'm soldering things, I do my level best not to bend pins, so that if I then need to remove something at a later date, it does make it much easier. Oh, you know what I meant to bring down when I was doing this? I might go up and get it later on, we'll see. I have got one of the earliest handheld multi-game things that was ever made. Now, it was called, let me just check. Pretty sure, I'm going to make sure. Yeah, it was called Merlin. Came out in 1978, and it is my understanding, it was the very first handheld multi-game. So there were already some handheld games around that time, but this was the first multi-game. So it actually came with, I think, 8 different games. And I have one of these, and I meant to bring it down to just show the old tech versus the new tech. Can you overclock this and play PS5 games on it? For sure. Waiting half an hour to buy a bottle of milk and a loaf of bread? What the... Hello, Paul, by the way. What the... That's just crazy. I have a few little secrets in this where I live at the moment. So there are a number of shopping centres around here. And when it comes to groceries, I go to a place that doesn't have any sort of variety stores. So it's like not too far away from where I live. It's only a few minutes drive away. Plenty of parking there. Now, if they had a variety store or clothing stores or something like that, or places where you could buy toys and gifts and stuff, it would go mental. But because this shop only has, it's got a like fish and chip shop, it's got a Thai place, and it's got a couple of supermarkets, it's got a pizza place and doner kebab place and stuff like that. So it's kind of like foodie places. There's a chemist there, and there's a, is in a drugstore, and a butcher, and a hairdresser, and stuff like that. But nowhere that you could actually go and buy Christmas gifts. So it doesn't get too bad during the Christmas period. Yes, people are always buying more groceries, but you can usually get in there, get a park, get your groceries, and get out nice and easily. So that is where I buy my groceries from. And then when it comes to if I need to buy gifts and stuff like that, There's a shopping centre that's actually walking distance from here, but if I'm too lazy to walk there, and when I say walking distance, it's 2 kilometres. It's about 30 minute walk. But if I am too lazy to walk there, it's right next to a train station. And during the weekend, the train station parking lot is pretty empty. So I park in the train station parking lot and then walk into the shopping centre. And even if the place is packed with people, you don't have to deal with the whole parking situation. Because that's the worst part of Christmas shopping, is the parking. Getting in and getting out of the joint. So I just park, next door to it and then walk in. It makes life so much easier. Same as there's another shop in another suburb. They've got a pub next door to the shopping centre. Park in the pub, walk across. It's great. It's great. Little secrets. What about during the Hanukkah period? Well, see, I wouldn't be able to tell you that because I really don't know much about religion in general. But let's just call it the Christmas period because that's what they generally call it around here. As I said, not really trying to cause offence to anyone, but at the end of the day, they refer to it as the Christmas period in these parts, so that's what I'm calling it. Yeah. But as I said before, when it comes to me talking about, Christmas or anything like that, never say anything that is meant to cause offence. Everything I say in a positive spirit. Okay, we have only got 2 more buttons to put on. Oh, thank you, Retro Techie. Try the traffic jam on a small island, 2 hours to get to lunch today. That on a normal day is like 20 minutes. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I don't have that issue here. I'm in Western Sydney, and it's pretty good. I mean, there are a few bottlenecks. I mean, particularly this time of year, there are a few places where I know that you end up with a few traffic jams. I generally try and avoid those if I can. I did all my Christmas shopping, and when I say all my Christmas shopping, I basically just had to buy for some youngsters, nieces and nephews and stuff like that, because we do like a Kris Kringle type thing with our family where you only have to buy for one person, and we also have a rule that you have to give a wish list to that person, because so that people get something they want and not something that's just going to end up in a landfill. And that just makes Christmas a whole lot easier because we don't have to worry about buying too many gifts. But we do buy gifts for the nieces and nephews and stuff like that. And so I went out and did a bit of toy shopping on Thursday. And that wasn't too bad. I got there at about 11 o'clock and, oh, these have got a nice action to them, these buttons. Clickety, click, click. Do you keep up with Greg Rutke? Well, he's on our group chat. We do hear from him every now and again, and I know he's been been going through some stuff at the moment. We keep telling him to seek some help for that, and he sort of says, "I know I need to, and I will," but we just we can only do what we can do. I mean, we're sort of there for him if he needs us. Mm-hmm. I tell you what, I mean, look, just talking about the advance in computers and all that sort of stuff, the Raspberry Pi is the classic example, the fact that you can take that thing. So I mentioned before that I am working on a video at the moment with a Raspberry Pi based project using an emulator. And everyone was sort of saying to me, oh, do you know how to set this up so that it boots straight into the Mac without starting up to X11 and all that sort of stuff? And I'm like, well, yeah, I do know how to do that, but I actually opt not to do that. What I do is I install RetroPie on there. And the beauty of RetroPie is you can install Basilisk on there really easily, so you can then run your emulation of a Mac. But it then also is your game emulator. You can emulate all sorts of things. What is it, PlayStation and arcade games and stuff. And so I just load up all these arcade ROMs, so that when I fire up my little mini Mac or whatever I've created, it just launches into RetroPie. I can either fire it up as a Mac, or I can fire it up as a little game console. Yeah, it's good. Right. Now, that's all of our buttons on there. or boutons. And now we need to install our little piezo buzzer. Bloody chicken's driving me mad at the moment. Now this doesn't seem to have an orientation to it. No need to distinguish between positive and negative. Well, thank you, pal. Even though we do know where positive is here. Even though it says no need to distinguish, there's a positive on the thing and there's a positive marked on the board. So we will put positive to positive because I'm a stickler. I'm a stickler for the details. MAME for the win. Yeah. Yep, gotta love the arcade emulation, you know, and it's funny because it's different for everyone. Like for instance, I grew up with certain games that I like to play. See, I love Galaga, absolutely love it because I sort of grew up with that. I love Moon Patrol, and I love Pac-Land. Now I know Pac-Man is the one a lot of people think of, but Pac-Land is actually like a side-scrolling game where you've got Pac-Man running across and he has to jump over fire hydrants and stuff and not get hit by the ghosts that are floating around and stuff like that. And I love Pac-Land. I really love playing it. So they used to have a Pac-Land at the shopping centre that I used to hang around when I was a teenager. And I used to sit there and watch people play it. I didn't play it much myself, but I used to watch other people play it. I mainly didn't play it because I was so crap at it. Alright, so we've got our piezo on, and then we've got a bouton. The holes in the switch should be aligned with the square marks on the PCB. So, let's have a look. What? What? Gap. Oh, I see the gap. I see the gap. There's a little gap. I don't know if you can see it if I focus on it, but there's a little gap there. You can just see a little metallic thing. Just a metallic thing just there. That gap needs to live here. So this will go on like that. In theory. Will you please shut up, Mr. Chicken? Too frickin' noisy for me. Soda. It's probably laid an egg or something. Chickens do like to announce to the world, hey, I've just laid an egg. It's like, yay, great. Good for all the predators. Dumbass. Right, okay. So, we have got this. We could theoretically play this now. Do we want to play this now? Or do we want to build the case first? Choplifter. God, that's going back a long way. Galaxian, I remember that one as well, yeah. Alright, so, what was decided? Play. Test it. Okay, we're going to test it. So, I am going to solder my little positive and negative. This will just give me a little bit of extra distance so that I can reach my power supply over there. And I'm going to... What's he say? He says red. VCC. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Right. Now what have we got? 1.5, 3, 4.5. So this takes 4.5 volts. So obviously designed for 5, but 4.5 will do. So let me get some pluggeroonies into here. Hoya. Out. In. In. Just a reminder to everyone that if you like my t-shirt, this is a Star Wars themed t-shirt. We have here the, Millennium Falcon, Kessel running 12 parsecs. The t-shirt is from QWERTY, and you'll find links in the description for QWERTY, and a code there for getting a $1 discount off your t-shirt. Okay, so we need to start with, there's negative, and then where's positive? Where are you, positive? I'm positive you're here somewhere. Haha, hear what I did? Okay, I have given it some power, but I have no idea how it works, so we'll have to, let's go to the top view here. There we go. And we can pull this crap off now, can't we? There's protection. Zip. Zippity zap. Would you like me to buy you a drink? Right. Now. Right, so. Okay, right. Finished. Install the... Okay, cool. It's got instructions on how to use it. Power on off. Okay, so this is the power button right here. So if I press that, it might come on. Alright. People are making me hungry talking about ham. So it looks like game one is Tetris. I'm sorry the image is so bad there. It's really hard to see the dots. For me, it looks awesome. Because it's the camera. It's really not good for the camera. I don't really know what else to do about that. I could try and darken it down, I suppose. I don't know if that one has the... What if we do the side view? That might be better. No, that's even friggin' worse. It's really hard to... It's incredibly bright. So, we've got one. All right, now. Return, fire, up, left, right. So, it doesn't really give you much more than that. Okay, so return. So this is like the OK button. So if I press that, this will probably be the game. Nope. Nope. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's rockin' music. It rocks. Did I ever tell anyone that... Oh, how do I spin it? Oh, crap. How do I spin it? I can't spin it. Oh, there it is. I got it. Oh no! Oh, crap. What's the most frustrating thing? Is it... Oh, what did I do? Oh, I broke it. I can pause it for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's like I can't... Oh, there we go. And now I can rotate it again. Okay, so that looks like pauses it. Yeah, I'm so bad at that. Is there a lens to diffuse the LEDs? Yes, there is. There is absolutely a diffuser there, which I don't know if I can get it close enough for you to see. But anyhow, so what do we do now? Power on off, return fire. Okay, so let's just go. We'll switch it off and back on again. La da da did it. Ba ba diddle da do. Let's okay. 2. Oh look, we went to. There's 2. Oh, what is 2? I don't even know what 2 is. We've got 3. I don't know what that is either. We've got 4. Oh, 4's like Space Invaders. Let's play that. I like that. Hours of fun. It's a very effective weapon. It's like a laser. I know how to do this game. Wonder if I lose points for using all my bullets. We having fun? Pew pew. I mean, it does have sound, but you probably can't hear it. Ba-da-da-do. How good is this thing, eh? 0218. That's my score. Okay, 218. So let's try another one. Let's try... I have to say, this is a pretty good value game. We're going to see if we can figure out what this game is, shall we? So we go fire. Oh, it's Snake. Sort of Snake. And he doesn't... Oh, no, he is getting bigger. Yeah. Oh, crap, I ran into the wall. Find a way to amplify the piezo. Yeah. Well, you guys can't hear it, can't you? I see the problem here. La 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 la. Okay, so that's Snake. What's 3? Oh, it's a car racing game. I'm racing well too. Can I speed up? I can't speed up. Or slow down. Oh, yes I can. Collision. Hello, the Fixer69. Thank you for joining. I'm afraid the thing is built, but now we're just playing it. I need to find a way that I can actually make it so that you can see this a little bit better. Crap. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? I mean, I don't know if I can do it with a filter. I might be able to. Top camera. Let's just go here to... Nope. No. Right click. Filters. No, that's not working terribly well. What about gamma? Nah, it's not working terribly well either. Can I cancel this? I don't know. I don't even know if I can cancel this. So all those changes I've made will probably stay. Solar resistor on the ground for the LED array. Why? Why are kids so uneducated these days? The questions they ask leaves me wondering. It's because of the internet. That's why. Right, let's switch it off. Switch it on. We'll see what other games we've got. And... so that was, we've done that. So that's Tetris, Snake, car racing, Space Invaders. Is this like a name guessing thing? Oh, that's very phallic. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's settings. Okay, it's got different settings. So what does that do? Oh, it's brightness. Hey, look at that. Son of a gun. So let's put the brightness all the way up. See if it makes a difference. Probably not. And what am I doing? 1. I don't know what I'm doing. 2. 1. What? 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 3. Is it meant to be 5? 3 plus 1 plus 1? What do you reckon? Does it reckon that's it? I don't know what I'm doing here. I might have to look that one up. Okay, so turn out the lights. Turn out the lights. The camera will probably just automatically adjust. It's a little bit better. What do you reckon? It's a bit better, isn't it? Definitely better. Okay. Yeah. Definitely better if I just shield off all the lights. So that's good. Well, I'm very, very happy with the game. It seems to be working well. The next thing I'm going to do is put it in the case. So I'm going to disconnect this from the power for now, and we are going to do the final stages of assembly. Oh, there's a spider with a whole bunch of eggs. So we're going to have lots of little baby spiders. Yay! Right. So now it's time to put the case together. Right. Okay. Oh, that's an interesting thing. Oh, I done soldered that all wrong. Let's do it right this time. Let's do it right. Mid-roll that again. Son of a gun. What do they think this is? Just remember that the ads do keep us honest, keep us in employment. It's a necessary evil, let's just say. So what I'm supposed to do with this, I'm supposed to put the wires through this hole here. Up there like that, up there, up there. Then down here, down there, down there, up down there. Pull that back there. And then put these into here. And the whole idea of that being that it will then make them a much more secure assemblage. So I'm going to put some solder in this hole. Pretty decent amount. Then I'll get the positive wire, feed it into the hole, melt the solder. Biggity bam, just like that, wickety whack. And you've got to see my head. You've got to see my head for that. Okay. Drugs are bad, okay. Okay, we've got our red and our black. We shall feed that through the hole. Like that. And then we pull that down there, and that just gives us a bit more strength in those wires. So if they get yanked, we're not going to suddenly just disconnect from the solder. Okay, isn't it good to have instructions? Yes, it is. That was that, and then we need to add, tear off the protective film. Shouldn't I have 4 of these? I do have 4 of these. Don't panic. don't know which is better, nails or tweezers, or maybe a combination of the two. Oh no, left a little bit on there. Lovely clear. Yeah, like I was a huge fan of South Park, but I mean, my goodness, they've been going for a long time. And I remember, this is a really long time ago, this will tell you how long ago it was, but I remember, I think it was before South Park was even getting aired in this country. There were these, or if it was, I wasn't aware of it, but there were these videos that started circulating of the show, and they were Real Player. Remember Real Player? There were Real Player files that were circulating around on the interwebs, and we used to download them and watch South Park, and it was groundbreaking at the time. We were just like, whoa, this is amazing. And just loved it so much, watched it so much. But I have to be honest, I haven't watched it in a really long time. And that was, well, when did the show first come out? Does anyone have any stats on that? When did the first series air? Because I can tell you what, I remember where I was at the time, and it was back when I was working in an office in the city. And that's a freaking long time ago since I worked in an office in the city. Let me tell you that for nothing. 1997, yeah. Well, I remember I worked in the office in the city, and then the next office we moved to after that was Mossman, which is, for people who don't know Sydney, won't know where Mossman is, but I moved to Mossman. And a matter of days after moving into Mossman was when September 11 happened. And what was that? That was 2001? Does that sound right? I can't remember, I'm afraid. Whoopsie. I remember seeing it. I just got home from work. And the news was on. I was like, what? It was quite late at night. It was back in the days when I used to work a fairly late shift. I worked 11 in the morning until 7 p.m. 2001, yeah. It started as a video Christmas card pilot. Yes, I know. And that was the original ones, of course, they did actually make with construction paper. Then they ended up doing it on computer to make it look like construction paper. It was actually 3D software. So I think it started as the Christmas card, and then they made a pilot, and the pilot was done with construction paper. But when it went into full production, they did it all with computers. Okay, so we've got to attach the battery to this one. We just need to make sure we get it the right way around and whatnot. So it goes that way. Holding it that way. And what? Right, so this is a better picture. So that there, okay, that goes around that way. I guess those holes are in the middle, so where they are doesn't really matter that much. There's a rogue hole here. I'm not sure what that hole is for. There's no real indication here. So, but this goes like that. Is the battery pack going to be hanging on the outside? Well, that's a bit suckful. Son of a gun. With your sorcerer's ways. So I haven't done a smash that like button in such a long time.
Smash that like button.
Yay. Smash that like button. I didn't need to worry about a cable. They supplied one. So which screws do they say? Use 2 long screws and 2 nuts. So these are the long ones. There's a long one. One long one. Two long ones. And these look like M3s. M stands for metric, 3 stands for millimeters. And they put the screws to throw here. Oh, it's a bit tight. Pretty tight. Recently bought this monitor, so I'd have to... Well, look, I'll leave that up to you. As to how important that monitor is too. There we go. What's that hole for? Dear. That's what she said. And of course, the whole thing with 9/11 in this country, that's the 9th of November. Because we do the numbers around the other way. For us, it would be 11/9. Whee. Whoopsie. Just using pliers here. I mean, I probably should be using like a, like a little mini monkey wrench or something like that, or as we refer to them here in Australia, an adjustable spanner. Plasma. Oi. Keep the room warm. Okay, so I have stuck this thing on here. The next step, it was to solder it, but I did that before already. And I'm supposed to... I'm supposed to stick some things on here. So I get hex copper pillars, they say. There we go. There's 1 hex copper pillar. 2, 3, 4. And I think... I assume that I'm using small screws for that. And they go... Oh, what? Tighten the hexagonal pillars and isolation pillars. And I'm going to use these ones. Yes. Okay. So I've got these little guys. Yeah, look at that. See? Let me just see. Oh, God, I'm sweaty. Sorry, folks. Okay. Tighten that one up. And we get the same here. Put that through the top there. Put the copper through the bottom there. Give that a little tighten. Kate, hello there. Welcome to the stream. I'm not doing anything particularly Mackie today, I'm afraid. I'm doing this kit soldering. But it is a fun little kit, I have to say. Of all the kits that I've done so far, I think this is going to be the funnest one yet. Because it's a little handheld game, and it's super nifty. Right, now, fix the acrylic base to the PCB with 4 screws. And that goes around that way, and that goes around that way. So it is a little bit... the wire's supposed to go through the hole. That's what it's for. The wire's supposed to go through there. Shuzbutt. Well, that's a thing, isn't it? They didn't tell me that. I'm going to have to unsolder it again. What a pain in the backside. Well, you're going to try and do some soldering too. Excellent. I was just mentioning to the folks before that this was my latest soldering project, which is where we go? There we go. That one there, which is the BlueSCSI, but I didn't go the cheats way out. I actually surface mounted every single component onto this board, and it took me about 2 hours, and it was lots of fun. Let it be said, it was fun. If you like that sort of thing, if you don't, it's probably a nightmare. Okay, so this is now the 3rd time I'll be soldering these wires on, but we've got to get it right, don't we? So, the red wire, so the black wire, I need to try and squeeze him out here. Oh no, there's no way. There is no way. Okay, we're going to do this again. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Don't freak out. Yep, the old, I mean, look, the BlueSCSI version 2, what a fantastic invention. I mean, I was just saying this earlier in the stream. The fact that I can take it like an old Mac SE and make it wireless using a BlueSCSI is just so cool. And of course, the ability to just have so much storage on them. Now, if I go round that way, let me just think. That way? No. That way? No. That way? No. That way? No. Either way, it's at the wrong corner. I mean, it's either at that corner or that corner, but the hole's here. The hole is there. It would make much more sense for the hole to be on this side where the wires are coming out. But, or this side. But anyhow, I'll do it this way, I think. And I'm going to pull this wire through there like that. And then I shall feed those through the little hole here. At least we figured out what that hole was for. Before we had no idea. Now, we know. We are all just learning as we go. Next soul to get a Brankus clone that doesn't curse. Oh, pff. When have you ever heard me curse, Jay? That's just rumours. Okay, so if I... It's really not... Yeah, it's not ideal. The hole really is in the wrong place. Unless I'm coming at it the wrong way around. Let me just check. I'm coming at it the wrong way around. Because this thing works one way or the other. The holes are centered here, so... Alright, okay. Alright. Everyone calm down. It's okay. Now we do it this way. The hole's in the right place. Though I will do a little notch here for the wire to sit, because at the moment it's sort of pushing it, squishing it. And I don't want it to push it, squish it. So I'm just going to get this with my little side cutters here, and give it a little snoop, and another little snoop. Oh, I snoop it too much. No, that's all right. It's all good. There we go. That is perfect. We expect no less, yes? Okay. Sorry I keep going off camera. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. Always double check your work. That's something I say, isn't it? I have been known to say that from time to time. Oh, we're full swing into the cricket season here at the moment. We have a bit of a ritualistic thing here. We have a thing called the Boxing Day test. So on Boxing Day, obviously the day after Christmas, there is a game of cricket, the international cricket that goes on this year. It is between Australia and Pakistan. And I will be parked in front of the TV on Boxing Day watching that cricket because I love cricket. For anyone who's not particularly familiar with the game of cricket, yes, it is weird. But if we didn't have cricket, you wouldn't have baseball. So there you go. Not cricket. Cricket. It's not the same. Alright. I probably should really change the view a bit now. Zoom it out a bit. Shouldn't I? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know. Right. Let's get this working. Sticking these on for the third time. Here's our red. Beep. Red. And black. It's a good thing I don't mind soldering. And we are soldered on. Yippee, yippee. Ta-da! Right, so now we're looking a lot more sensible. We've now got the wire coming through onto the other side. We've got to find some way of making this wire a little less messy. I'm going to spin around a little bit. That's not working at all. Yeah, that's not working. It can just stay all yucky for the moment. I might do something to tidy it up later on. So it was saying, it said it goes on this way. Like that. And then we put some screws through here. Just little ones. I have a better screwdriver than this, but I'm not sure where it is. It's unlike me to lose things in my workshop, but in this instance that's happened. It is a shame that the battery holder is hanging out. I sort of feel like if they'd just given us a bigger spacer here, which I may have. I've got bigger spacers in a little containery thing, which is in the house at the moment, because I've been using it up there. But I've got bigger spacers. I might even be able to put a bigger spacer in there to then make it so that the battery's on the inside. But of course, then you'd have to undo it every time you wanted to change batteries, and that could suck. Make the wires shorter. I'm not soldering them again. I will make them shorter, but not now. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Okay. This is starting to take shape. It's starting to feel like a thing. It's really starting to feel like a thing. All right. And then we've got a top bit here. It's pretty easy to know which way this goes on because the things line up with the holes. If they don't line up with the holes, you've got it wrong. And we've got side bits as well. So we've got one side bit here. This is the side bit for the socket. Let's just make sure we get that to line up. Nope. It doesn't freaking line up. Oh, wrong one. Okay, yeah, that's the one. That's the one. This one here, it's got a hole here because... Oh, look, you've got little... Someone probably mentioned this before. We've got little programming ports here. You've got VCC, receive data, transmit data, and ground. So you can probably actually program this little guy through this here. So if and you wanted to. But I'm not gonna. But it does have a little space if you wanted to put a plug there. I do actually have plugs that would fit that, but I'm not going to put them in. Because I'm just not. That's why. Went out to dinner last night. Anyhow, restaurant, right? Restaurant that I went to. Lovely food, by the way. The food there is just smashing. Anyhow, go to this restaurant. They've got a TV on in the background. It's up on the wall facing that way. My wife's sitting next to me, and my mother's sitting in front of me. And we're sitting there having a meal. And then on the TV comes a veterinary show, like a show following a busy veterinary clinic, vets. And then just partway through it, they start operating on animals. And like, we're sitting there eating dinner, and there's like blood and guts and gore and shit on the screen as we're eating our dinner. And we're just like, oh no. And we'd eaten most of the food by the time it started, but there was still some food there. And then we were chatting away, and then it just got to the point. It's like, let's go before the next surgery starts. Not ideal, I can tell you. They gave me a few spare screws here, so that's nice. Install the button first. Don't tell me that. Why install the button first? Shivers, you're right. Well done. One of the buttons sticks through, but the other ones are underneath. Thank goodness for you, eh? Where would I be? Whoopsie. There we go. I think even this one is small enough to go on before the plastic. Is this the right one? It's a bit snug. Oh, son of a gun with your thing. That is really snug. We may not be able to stick that on at this stage. Oh, I'm going to have to probably make some modifications. Let's just say that. I don't know words to Christmas carols. I just know the tunes. So that's about the best you're going to get from me. Any interesting Christmas light displays near you? Yes, I can tell you that there used to be, just around the corner from here, like I was in walking distance, the most incredible Christmas house. And, you know, they actually took donations and gave them to the Children's Hospital. And they had a whole section where you walk down the back with all these animatronics and stuff like that. And the whole front of the house. And, oh, mate, it is the most elaborate display you've ever seen in your life. It's like it would have been so disruptive for that family. But anyhow. And then it just stopped one year. I don't know what happened. I mean, maybe something happened to the person who was putting it on. House just stopped. Christmas stuff just stopped. Devastating. All right. So we're good, I believe. This is it. All finished and done. I don't have any batteries down here, so I would have to go up and get some. But we do have the ability, to, I think, plug it into a USB port. Maybe, if this cable is long enough. If this cable is long enough. How about that? Is that connected to something? Let's see if that's connected to something. That might be connected to something. I mean, I just found a plug hole, that's all. Yay, look at that. There. Let's go to top view. And let's switch all these lights off. There we go. Look at it. Have a go at it. Just wire it up to your PSU. I could, but now that this is on the back, the wires that I have to the PSU aren't really long enough. So there we go. How good is it? On a scale of 1 to 10, I call it about a 6 or a 7. There we go. All right, so that's dark enough now. So we've got these lovely big fat buttons. They've got a nice feel about them. 1500 RGB LED lights. Crazy. All right, so it would be nice if these had labels on them, but they do not. But it is, I believe... Oh, yeah, okay, they've got a square on that one and a cross on that one, which means jack shit to me, but never mind. Okay, so I'm going to press this button, and we're doing our little Tetrisy thing. And so... And then we've got... let me see if I can rotate that. No, it's this one to rotate. There we go. Oh, crap! Son of a gun. You saw it. You saw it. You saw it. It wasn't my fault. Oops. I went a little bit haywire there. Oh, crubbers. Just don't press that for too long. Oh, crap. Oh, what have I done? I paused it? What have I done? There's a bug in this. There's definitely a bug in this. Because that's meant to rotate it, but sometimes it makes it pause. Like this. Ding, 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 ding. There's definitely some brokenness going on there. I don't see any way of resetting this. You have to just switch it off and on again. Let's go to... This is the snaky game. Actually, I really like the Peel Peel game. I want the Peel Peel game. Oh, that's it, wasn't it? That was a Peel Peel game. All right, so... Hee! Pew! 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 It is a very destructive pew, isn't it? I mean, it doesn't just shoot one. It shoots the whole freaking line. Well, it does if you press it enough. I'm doing so well. Oh. Hours of bathroom entertainment. Just don't drop it in the bath, because I don't think it is water resistant. I'm just nailing this. I mean, you know, one doesn't like to blow one's own trumpet, but I do think they've made this game a little bit easy. And those things need to start moving faster, don't they? Either that or make it so that there's a pause between when you can shoot so that you're a little bit more sparing with your bullets. There's apparently a Facebook group dedicated specifically to this little handheld game. So nifty, eh? Wouldn't you say? I'm just going to stop when I get to 500, okay? Yay! Okie dokie. So, there we go. Successful little build there. What I do plan to do is... I don't know. Should I try and maybe make it so that I have a little hole in here that you can lift off to put the batteries in or something like that? And I've got to sort out this button. I might have to 3D print a button because this one that they've supplied, this one here, the little hole is just too small for the size of that little shaft coming out of there. So no good. But yeah, lots of fun. There is a link in the description of that one if you would like to make your own. And I think making it is half the fun. The next thing I will be building in the next live stream will be... What time is it? Okay. The next thing I will be building in the next live stream will be a oscilloscope, a digital oscilloscope, a little kit oscilloscope. There is a link in the description of this as well. You'll find I've got a list there of the upcoming kits that I'll be working on. So if people want to build it with me, I would suggest see if you can grab it from Amazon. I will be doing some other live streams during this holiday period. I have a water-damaged iPad Pro 11-inch Series 3, pretty sure, 2011 model. So we're going to be opening that up and seeing if we can find out what's wrong with it. It charges, but it doesn't fire up. So we're going to see if we can get that going. The fact that it charges is a good thing, but the fact that it doesn't switch on is definitely a bad thing. I did a repair the other day, but I did it so quick I didn't get to record it or stream it or anything like that. But someone sent me something with a torn USB plug, and I really should have recorded it because it is something that happens a lot, and I think it's good for people to know how to repair those sorts of things. I think building these kits on live streams is just a brilliant idea. Keep it up. Thank you very much, Jay, because it is Jay's idea. As I've said many times before, all the good ideas I have come from Jay. I refine them, of course. Of course, don't I, Jay? I refine them, don't I? I don't just take them as they are. I make them a little bit better. So you'd have to give me that, wouldn't you? Would you? Would you? I have got here in my hands. I'm just going to keep going for about another 10-15 minutes probably. I have here in my hands BlueSCSI version 1. And I figured I might just build one. I haven't built one of these in a while. I've still got lots of bits for these. Even though the version 2 is kind of taken over, the version 1 still works. So, I mean, why not have it? And I've got all the bits. I've got a container of bits that I can go in and make them. See, these are that was the plug I was telling you about that I could stick onto that other one. So, you know, I mean, they're a pretty straightforward thing to build. So, when I used to sell these, I used to stick the SD thingy on there, but I don't sell them anymore. I don't sell them because it just got too difficult. Not enough hours in the day. Busy bros. Busy bros. Minor tweaks that make it 0.1% better, I'll give you that. There you go. And of course, I did all those lovely thumbnails. I did those. Any lump stick rectangles to work on? Lump stick rectangles? What is a lump stick rectangle to work on? iMac G4. Lump stick rectangle. Okay, cool. Lampshade Max, I generally call it, but I see what you mean. There's a lump and a stick and a rectangle. So I have two iMac G4s. They're both in storage. One works, the other one doesn't. But the one that doesn't work is it's like a flaky cord or something. It mostly works. It works sometimes. So and then the other one works really well. I love the iMac G4, and I'll tell you why. The one that I have, I've got one of the first gen, and that first gen one will still run OS 9 natively without the need for OS 9 lives or anything like that. And I really like having a computer like the iMac G4 that I can fire up into OS 9. Because I have quite a lot of games that only work in OS 9, and so I like to have a native OS 9 machine. And of course the iMac G4 is a pretty quick one. Same with the Titanic G4 laptop. I've got a 1 gigahertz G4 Titanium laptop, and that one still runs OS 9 natively. So that's really good for the games and the things and such. I've just stuck some diodes on that. They're meant to be there, so that's all good. A few components you don't actually need to stick on here, but some you do. Now I actually have a jig somewhere, so that I can build this without actually having to
Smash that like button.
I'm sorry, that was an accident, but please do smash that like button. Side view. That's the view I wanted. Do I ever replate card headers? I don't. Lump stick rectangles. Alright, so let's see if I can find the jig that I made. I mean, it'll be here somewhere. It's just be under something. Move the keyboard gently so I don't accidentally press the smash that like button again. And the jig is here. I've seen it. The jig is up. Hey! Hey! Not there. It's going to be on this side. And this is where it was before, so it's going to be on this side. But it's just so much crap here now. And there's actually some live 240 volt wires exposed around here somewhere too. So I always will need to be reasonably careful about where I put my hand. I haven't zapped myself yet. Well, not from that. I'm going to zap myself all the friggin' time, but not from that. Oh, wow. There's something there that I have been missing for ages. And I just found it. Yeah, I found the jig. Okay, so this is me BlueSCSI jig, 3D printed. I made this. I designed it myself. And the idea is that you put the components in here, and then you kind of invert it, and you hold it on here like this, like this, like this, and then the things just stick up, and then you solder them. And for building the old BlueSCSI version 1, that was really, really handy. So, let's get the bits. Need 2 of these. Two of these. A couple of these. A couple of these. Oh, I haven't put the thingy on. And this. I'll better put the SD card slot on. Let's do that first. So we jump across to the microscope view for that. Oh, there's someone at the front door. Ah, looks like my wife. Okay. Do. How are we doing there? It's freaking upside down. Why is the picture upside down? That is the bizarrest thing ever. What have I done? Scope camera. Because we're in Australia. Yes, it's a good question. That's a very good thought, isn't it? Let's just go to filters, properties. No, what have we got in here? Transform. Nope. 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 Filters. There must be somewhere here where I can just invert or whatever. Edit. I mean, I've pressed something at some stage. Transform. Edit transform. There we go. This has got to have it. Position, rotation, 180. 180. Well, now the position has changed. Position line center. Okay. We'll unlock it. And we'll plonk it there. There we go. That wasn't too difficult, was it? And we even got to see some chickens underneath, didn't we? Wasn't that fun? Oops, that's be nice. Now, I normally do this first, and I really should have done it first, because now the thing's wobbly because of the diodes sticking out. I'm going to get myself a modicum of flux. And then I'm going to stick this down here. And I promise I'll finish streaming as soon as I've stuck this on. I know I'm probably overstaying my welcome as it is. I've got someone that's going to ring me up at around 2 o'clock, so I need to make myself available for that. And it is currently 1:34. I need my other glasses for this. Doo-doo. So, plonk that there. When you put those down, we want to try and make sure that the pins are centered in the pads. We want to make sure it's straight. And we want to make sure that we can access all these pads. There's one. Once you've got one down, you're pretty easy for the rest of them. There's two. I used to punch out so many of these. I did like selling these. I liked it, you know, in terms of making these products available for Aussies and whatnot. But it's really for someone who's not trying to do a YouTube channel as well. The fact of the matter is, if you've got a full-time job and a YouTube channel, that's pretty much all you're going to be able to have time to do. The old YouTube is a real time-hungry hobby. Well, actually, it's a profession now, isn't it? Because they pay me. So it's more than a hobby. All right, there is our little USB, micro SD card slot. And then I've got to stick a couple of resistors here for the thing. Now, the problem is, I have no idea where those resistors are for the LED light. So I bought a massive spool of resistors. And so therefore, making sure that the LED light works. Well, you know, if you want to connect an external LED light. But I don't know where I've put all those resistors. I mean, they're probably just under here somewhere. Let me just have a look. Have a little look. Oh yeah, here we go. I didn't have to look far at all. This is what you get when you don't put things away. Never have to look far to find them. End up with a, you know, gradually reducing amount of space to work with, but, you know. Now, these were originally designed for tiny, weeny little through-hole resistors, and I've said many times before, I freaking hate through-hole. So what I do is I actually stick surface mount components onto these. So I do that like this. I put loads and loads and loads and loads of solder onto one side, just like that. Like that. Then, have I already lost one of these resistors? And I mean, seriously, I just put it down here. Have I knocked it off the table already? Thankfully, I have lots. Oh, no, hang on. Something just went flying. No, yep, I'm going to grab another one. I'm not going to bother looking for it. All right, wrap things up here. Take care. Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year. I missed out on any live streams in between. Okay. Thank you very much for joining. I am planning some more live streams during this merry period. But, yeah. Scarlet Swordfish, hello there. So, take it easy, Joe. See you at the next one, hopefully. I expect a certain level of attendance. There will be trouble otherwise. Right, so let's see if we can get this component on here. As I say, surface mount component to a through hole. And what I do here, oh god, it helps if I'm in focus. There we go. And now I can see. So I get that there like that, and then I try and spread that across like that. There we go, look at that. When I'm doing this, I actually need to not put too much flux on, because otherwise it won't spread like that. Just like that. And then loads and loads of solder on the other side. And there you have soldering surface mount components onto a through hole. Just like that. Now we're going to change our view to top view. Top view. And this is how this works. We get little pins in there and in there. Oh crap, I've got to see these and I can't see these without my special glasses. So how are you doing, Scarlet Swordfish? Haven't seen you at a stream in a while, I don't think. I mean, unless I've just forgotten things, and of course that is always possible. So that's a 220 there. That's a 330 there. That's a 330 there. And that's a 220 there. And then we've got our connector. Put it around the right way. If you don't, you'll feel stupid. And then we need a few of these. I'm going to have to cut that. My fingers aren't doing the thing. They're not strong enough today. 1, 2. And then we've got our power and activity lights. Ow, 3. Ow, 4. So, power. Activity. Termination. Oh, schnitz. There we go. And then that one there. I streamed a long time. I just finished my first semester of grad school. Excellent. I don't know what grad school is, but congratulations. Right, so now I've got to get this onto this. And it's a little bit fiddly, I can tell you. But we're going to do our best. Oh, the SCSI connector is a little snug. Come on. You're going to do it. Do you want me to make the sound? Jay, is Jay still there? Does he want me to make the sound? No, I didn't even do that right. There's a little video of me making a terrible Arnold Schwarzenegger sound, and it got taken out of context. And now it does the rounds in our little Mac-Yak chat group. Okay, so they're all in place now, so this makes the soldering part really easy. I'll probably just do it with the scope, actually. But I need to change glasses. Do it! He's always trying to get me to say it. I'm not gonna. Nah. Alright, so let's do this. Now, we've got to do this. Look at this drag soldering thing when it comes to these pins. Now, I tend to not drag solder through hole, but I do have to accept that it can be a very, very quick way to get these done. And this is Joe, I think, was doing this on his channel recently. And what the best way to do is to get yourself a nice, big, fat... Let me put that there. And we put that there. Chisel tip like this that you can just run down the side there. These tips get really hot because they're so big. They, so much heat gets passed through them. And so if you then just kind of get this big, long old strip of solder running along here, and then I probably need to do it the other way around. Like this. Okay. Just like that. Okay. And then I'll sort of hold that there like that if I can. And then you just sort of do a bit of this sort of thing. But I'm going to need more flux. This tip is shit. Sorry, this tip is really bad. It's dirty as. And it's just not doing the job here at all. So, let's give up on that. Going back to the way I like doing it. I'm going to stop listening to tips from Joe. No, I'm just joking. Joe has great tips. I'm talking of Joe from Joe's Computer Museum. He is an absolutely exceptional human being. I do give him some grief sometimes, but that is always meant in jest, because I do actually have a mountain of respect for the guy, and he's certainly a hell of a lot smarter than I am. Mind you, so are a lot of people. But you know what they say, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. I always feel like I'm in the right room, that's for sure. Doing all this vintage Mac stuff, you do actually get to socialise with a lot of really clever people. Ba-doop. don't use conical, yes. No, both Jay and I have a bit of a thing against conical tips. And it's funny because so many soldering irons come with a conical tip as standard. And I think they're actually the worst type of tip to solder with. Now, if you have a conical tip, if that's all you have, there are ways that you can kind of make it work a bit better. Ways of holding it so that you're going to get better heat transfer. But the idea that, having a really fine point tip on a soldering iron is going to make your soldering job easier is not really the case. The fine tip might be nice and accurate, but it doesn't hold much heat. So it's then very difficult to transfer that heat onto what you're actually working on. So, not a big fan. But I do have a bent conical tip that I use for getting into little tight places. And it's quite good. Because it's bent, it has like a flat surface area where you can actually get quite a bit of heat where you need. A hell of a lot easier than just a straight pointy one. So I do use that bent conical quite a bit. But I only use it when I can't fit this great big tip into the spot. Yoink. Yoink. Oi, 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 oi. There we go. That's where you go to get a master's degree or higher. So, what sort of degree you're getting? What you're aiming for? What you're looking at? I should have got a degree. I think I would have looked good with the flat hat on. Through-hole soldering sucks, doesn't it? You don't have to agree with me. I know a lot of people do actually like through-hole soldering. My hands are going to want a good old wash after this. Been handling all this leaded solder. Don't want to stick your hands in your mouth or your eyes or anything like that when you've been handling leaded solder. I should, of course, be using gloves, but I'm not. And I just, need to give my hands a good old wash afterwards. Then I need to pop out and go shopping, because I'm cooking some yummy, yummy dinner tonight. I need to go and buy the ingredients for it. I am making schnitzel. Schnitzel. I love schnitzel. I may even do like a creamy mushroom sauce to go with it. I'm going to cook up some chippies, or what Americans would call fries, though not thin ones, not like fries you'd get at McDonald's, big thick ones. Thick, chunky chips. And no, I don't do them in an air fryer. I do them in an oil fryer. Why? Because they taste better. They're also much worse for you. It's terrible for your health, I appreciate that. But it is Saturday night. Special dinner. Fancy, unhealthy dinner for Saturday night. Schnitzel. Studying for a Master of Architecture degree, that is so awesome. That is, architecture is awesome. I come from a fairly long line of like engineers and architects and stuff in my family. It's kind of stopped me though. Actually, that's not true. I mean, sort of my dad was a teacher. And then, I ended up being a programmer, computer programmer. Oh, did you do that on your computer? That's very clever. But I build a lot of stuff. That's the engineering desire in me. I do build lots of things with, sort of like designing things in 3D and all that sort of creps. Keeps me happy. Keeps me out of trouble, mostly. That's all the soldering done. How cool is that? They're pretty cool. I wonder if I programmed this little pi. Oh, I haven't put the pine on yet, so. Now I've got to snip. I've got to snip some of these. They're too long. I'm going to need some of my other glasses for that. Let us off the last 30 years and look at me. I'm just fine. Yes, we're all fine until we're not. Hey, whoa, hey. There we go. Let's go to this view. As we snip all these off, snip. Whoa, hey. There are probably about 3,000 of these little tips strewn around the place from me making so many of these in days gone by. Really good idea when you do snip these. Snip them before you put the blue pill on, because the blue pill is sensitive to electricness, and a snip like that could actually create high voltages just for a very short time. So there's a blue pill, and we just need to solder that on and we'll be done and dusted, as they say. Change glasses once again. Okie dokie. I really wish I could see the way I used to see. Do you see what I see? Sorry, that's an Australian band. Only Australians are going to know that one. Australian band called Hunters and Collectors, or as we say here, if in particular if you live in West, as in like Western Sydney, where all the bogans hang out, the buffheads, like me, we say Hunters. So the band is called Hunters and Collectors, but they're just known as Hunters. Man, are you going out? Yeah, you're going to go see Hunters. Piezoelectric effect. Yeah, probably. But you could see. I mean, if you turn the lights off, if you if you snip the pins in the dark, you can sometimes just see sparks and shit, and that's not good. You know? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? See you, Enzo. Thank you very much for joining. I do appreciate it. I'm sorry I went on for so long. I mean, I'm sure it's getting pretty late in other parts of the world. I am going to finish up very soon. I've got a message from this person saying, please call me when you can. This is the one that was going to call me at 2, so he's actually asked me to call him. So I will do that. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to talk to him about, because we're dealing with an issue that I have absolutely no control over. So I can sympathise, but I can't actually do anything about it. I can try and provide words of comfort. I can say, yeah, there's a very good chance that won't fail tonight, but it probably will. What can you do about it? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I can point and laugh. Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? I live near Bundaberg, home of the Bundabogen. Yeah, Bundaberg, of course, is the place where we get the rum from. And anyone out there, if you ever want a good drop of rum, Bundaberg rum is a good drop. Or as we say, Bundy. Bundy rum. Right, there we go. I'm going to have to probably ultrasonic this. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Well, it probably doesn't need to be ultrasonic, but I probably will anyway. There's that. I should plug this into some powerage, and when I do, I should get a flashing light because I have nothing connected to it. Now, here is a USB cable. I don't even know if it's got power, but we'll see. We'll plug it in and we'll see what happens. Top view. And boom. Yeah, look at that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's basically telling me that I've got no SD card in there. So it's, you know, well, it's functional, but to be honest, it would do that even if it wasn't soldered onto this board. So, but I've never really had any issue building these before, so I'm fairly confident this one will be fine. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So, right, so I am now going to do the normal thing that I do, where I sort of talk about the whole signing off type bit and all that. So, I hope everyone enjoyed the building of the cute little game thing. I'm going to put some batteries in this. I'm going to play around with it a little bit more. The Tetris seems a little bit funky. I'm going to see if there might be some fixes out there for that. In that, when you rotate the parts, every now and again, when you press the button, it doesn't rotate. It just freezes. So it's like the button is like almost like a start-stop button instead of the rotate. So that's a bit of a poopy. But look, it's good fun. It had 6 games on it. The last game I didn't figure out what you're supposed to do. A bunch of numbers come up, but I'm not actually sure what you're supposed to do with those numbers. And it does have the ability to adjust the volume and the brightness of the LEDs. You've got a little score thing up there. So that was a really, really fun kit. I reckon the best thing about this kit is you can have fun building it and then you can have fun playing with it. So good, fun stuff. Alrighty, so thank you everyone for joining me for this live stream today. As I say, the next kit live stream, I can't promise the next one I do will be a kit live stream. The next one will probably be me repairing an iPad. But in the next kit live stream I do, it is going to be a digital oscilloscope. And there is a link in the description as to where you can buy that from if you want to buy the same one from Amazon. Mind you, delivery might be a little bit slow this time of year. So, to everyone out there, I wish you the very best of the season, whatever you happen to celebrate in what particular way or what religion or however. I wish you all of the best for this particular time of year, which for me is usually a fairly fun time. It's all about catching up with family, taking a little bit of time off work, not much time off work because I am self-employed, so no one pays me for taking time off work. Yeah, so to everyone, have a good time. If I don't stream before Christmas Day, which is only 2 days away for me, I wish you all the very merriest of the season. So, hope to see you at the next live stream. Have a good one. Thank you for keeping the chat super busy and live and active. And hope to see you at the next one. So, have a good one and bye-bye.